This is Scott Becker with the Becker Business and the Becker Private Equity Podcast. We try and bring you each day business insights, market insights, and usually an interview with a business leader to sort of round out the cadence of episodes each day from Becker Business and Becker Private Equity Podcast. Today's discussion is consulting services, the good, the bad, and the ugly. So here's the deal with consulting services, and we're just going to talk through this. And a lot of this, of course, comes from different experiences, and we hope you enjoy this thought process and what we see. So the first type of consulting services are what I call the good. You've gotten exactly what you've asked for, and somehow or another, those consulting services have helped you to clarify a course, a direction, or a plan, whatever you're trying to get out of those consulting services. And I would say that's when dollars for consulting services are well spent. And I've had a few different examples of that in the last several months that I think they really stood out. And yes, it was expensive, but I got what I paid for and found the information and the change in how we're going to do something to be really helpful. So that would be consulting services, the good. And this applies to business, to life, to a bunch of different areas. The second is the bad, and I'll talk about this. The bad is that you've got consulting services, but you thought you also you would be able to get follow-up help when needed or fill in some small gaps, but you really found in buying the consulting services that you're really buying a product, not a service. And this goes back to the age-old issue of, are you buying a product or a service? And I found a couple times more recently is we need follow-up for specific small parts of something to really understand how something fits together or how to make sure technically it works, that we found after the fact that we really bought a product, not a service, and the interest in helping on a follow-up basis is very little. And I would say that's the bad. Even though the overall consulting services and the value we got from those was great, I do feel like at times you can't get that follow-up that you need. The third kind of consulting services are the ugly. And this is when you've essentially bought a set of goods and those goods aren't useful. You've bought into getting consulting services from somebody. Their consulting services are either expensive or inexpensive, or they took you a lot of time, and you found that ultimately the consulting services were useless and not particularly helpful, and really just sort of almost like boilerplate versus intelligent and helpful and insightful. Like they're really not talking with you or your team and your business. They're talking sort of at 30,000 feet and not useful at all. And that's what I would call the ugly in terms of consulting services. So again, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Thank you for listening to the Becker Business and the Becker Private Equity Podcast. We hope you have a great day. If you get a chance, go on Amazon, pre-order our book, Building Great Businesses, Create Momentum, Overcome Setbacks, and Scale with Confidence. Thank you for listening to the Becker Business and the Becker Private Equity Podcast. Thank you.